sunshines, sweethearts, welcome to another install. Big Al, the old booze monger, stick around, you're for chuffing right road, chuffing treat, I tell you, for bloody round. Now, I went to work the other day, dressed in a chuffing tuxedo, and I see managers looking at me cross-eyed, they're all bloody nudging each other and pointing at me and stuff. After about an hour or so, they called me over, they said, what are you doing? I said, what are you on about? They said, what are you wearing a tuxedo for? I said, you told me to. He said, no, we didn't. I said, yes, you did. I said, you walked up to me yesterday and you told me, like, from tomorrow, I want you to work chuffing smarter, not chuffing harder. So there you go. You get what you ask for, you know what I mean? Now, I'd like to gladly welcome you to this beautiful chuffing establishment you see before you, chuffing parading in front of your chuffing eyes. Now, this is Richie Sambuca's Blues and Chuffing Jazz Club. And forget about your bloody Ronnie Scotts and your bloody Flamingos and all this chuffing chat down south, all these clubs. This is the place to be, especially back in swinging 60s and chuffing 70s and all that chat. Before Richie Sambuca had it, used to belong to his dad. Now, totally different kettle of fish. Richie's okay. He's a tough-nosed businessman, but he's all right now, his dad. Right chuffing reputation, right maniac. Bloody Lenny McLean and chuffing Roy Shaw and Craze at Richardson's and all those chuffing people. They won't come within 5 miles of this chuffing place where Bullfrog used to own it. Because he were a guy who went by the name of chuffing Bobby. Bullfrog chuffing Sambuca. And he was chuffing right maniac. Apparently one night he fell out with his chuffing blow. And do you know, remember those old like kind of chuffing pint pots that used to get off a milkman? Little bot used to leave it on your chuffing doorstep for your mum. I used to put it on your bloody cornflakes and chuffing Weetabix and all that shit. Well, apparently he got into argument with this bloke one Saturday night, packed house. And there happened to be an empty one of them, just like kind of chuffing lying in the bar. Somebody sucked it. Gets into an argument with this bloke. Grabs hold of it. Bullfrog grabs hold of it. Managed to get his inside chuffing face and cranium down spout this chuffing bottle without chuffing breaking bottle. So the guy's inside chuffing cranium in bottle and it's still intact. They finally cracked it open and apparently his head sprung back a little bit, but we never say him again. Imagine walking out the rest of your life with chuffing semi-bottle shaped chuffing cranium. Crust. It's no good, is it? You're not going to poke chicks, are you? Got into an argument with somebody else, drowned him in a chuffing bowl of custard. Well, it's a bit trifled with. Final guy, similar scenario. Oh, it's similar scenario. Somebody makes one loose comment, you know, stares at him for like half a chuffing second, and he takes exception to it on that chuffing there. And he apparently hit this fella in the face so hard, this bloke's brother's teeth fell out. He weren't even there. Brother, he was sat at home apparently with his feet up on coffee table watching reruns of Emmerdale. All of a sudden he looks down at his lap, there's chuffing molars and chuffing canines all of his chuffing scrotum. So this guy a bloody maniac. Although, there's a guy called chuffing Sammy Neck Roll chuffing Brazzabon. Now he's dormant, he's bouncer, but he's a nice fella. As long as you're alright with him, he'll be alright with you. But he's got a huge head. You never get his head in a bottle. But huge cranium, 35-inch crust he's got. Don't even get me started on his chuffing neck roll. But yeah, back in 60s and 70s, wrote down here, this place, it had all top chuffing people, like Dung Beatles. They used to do all Beatles repertoire, but they used to do it while they were covered in something extra. And apparently they were a crowd pleaser, the crowd liked them. But an absolute right royal chuffing disaster to clean up after them. They're chuffing skid stains, chuffing left, right, chuffing centre. Cascading Pebbles, they played here. Frankie Suckle and the Murmuring chuffing War Pigs, but they didn't go down too well because they were more of a chuffing metal band and this is a blues and jazz club. So too many chuffing decibels, you know what I mean? Jimi Hendrix used to play here and they loved him. He went down a chuffing right royal chuffing storm. He used to get up on stage, used to remove his shoes and his socks, used to play guitar with his feet, while periodically throwing chuffing toilet rolls into the audience. Simon and Carbuncle, they used to play here. They were chiropodists, and but they fell foul of chuffing Bobby chuffing Bullfrog chuffing Sambuca because one night they were messing about with his granny's chuffing big toenail. They made a right mess of it. Never seen again. Just disappeared. Also, there was also Ed Sheeran, and somebody at work said, "What do you mean Ed Sheeran?" I said, "No, he was a mobile hairdresser. He used to come on a Tuesday night, apparently back in chuffing Bullfrog day. I used to do like perms and bloody fades and Caesar cuts and chuffing mullets and skinheads and all sorts of chuffing chat. But he were no good with colours. And again, ran foul of the chuffing Bullfrog because apparently he had to go at the Bullfrog mum's chuffing hair. She ended up a chuffing carrot top. And he come a cropper with a chuffing sandwich toaster or something. But absolute chuffing chaos. Right, I said, oh yeah. I just want to say, I actually worked here. a lot of years ago. I was only a young man. I worked here for a chuffing for a few weeks. But I ended up getting sacked because I got into a chuffing fight with Vicar's wife. And I swear to this day that in her chuffing handbag she had a chuffing house brick. She said it was a copy of St. James's Bible, but I ain't convinced. Should not call you chuffing tea farts, would it? But you know what feelings. Shit happens, you know what I mean? Vicar's wife, after all. A couple of weeks later, she had me that chuffing vicarage for a chuffing up and up. So, no hard chuffing feelings. I don't think I missed anything off of that chuffing insanity. Right, we're going to be doing a chuffing boozy spectacular today. We're doing another beer or another stout whiskey chaser chuffing spectacular. So stay chuffing tuned. Let's get my chuffing paper right up here. Here we're going to go. Right, we're doing courtesy of chuffing Jace Massey from work. Old friend from work brought this in for me, so I thought I'd review it in his honour. BREWDOG chuffing black art. Now you may have seen this knocking about. BREWDOG, good company, make lots of primarily like a lot of IPAs and stuff like this, but obviously they do stouts as well. Now it says here that BREWDOG Black Art Stout is a 4.1. It's got 4.1 ABV. Does that sound familiar? Sound a little bit like Guinness and Mulligans and Murphy's and all this other stuff. They're all in the same kind of ballpark, aren't they? It is a modern Irish style dry stout. Designed as a creamy, nitrogen-poured alternative to traditional options like Guinness, which we were just talking about. Featuring roasted barley, chocolate and extra dark crystal malts, it offers a robust even, coffee and cacao chuffing flavour. Let's see if there's any more information. Palate, it's smooth and creamy. Notes of roasted malt, espresso, dark chocolate and some carrot sauce. Just like route my chuffing street. You know me. I love these stouts and porters and stuff like that. I like my lagers as well, my bitters. I like all that shit, IPAs, but these are usually my favourites. Appearance, black with a tanner. I know a bloke well like that. It has a nitrogen widget for cascading effect, so when you pour it out, it looks attractive. And it says body light and thin. That's the only kind of complaint I've heard about it, saying it's a little bit light, a little bit thin. We'll pour it out, we'll see. I'll tell you chuffing truth. If I like it, I like it. If it's chuffing shy, I'll tell you it's shy. You get no chuffing deception on big old chuffing. Right, get poured. Yeah, bloody go. Whoa, it's lively. It's lively. Get poured out for you. See if we go with it. We'll get it in the. I've been enjoying drinking my beers out of these old style 70s, 80s style chuffing pineapple chuffing pine pots. I always used to admire these back in the day. So like I said it last episode, I finally got myself one. I got a couple now. I got one with Guinness in them, but I ain't pouring a flaming BREWDOG Black Art Stout into a chuffing Guinness vessel because it's a little bit disrespectful. It's not Guinness. As you can see there, it's all settling a treat, look. Right, royal treat. There you go, that head's chuffing huge, isn't it? It's like bloody Brazzabun's head, that 35-inch cranium I was talking about, it's like that. But we'll let that settle, and we'll move on to what we're chasing and chuffing down with, because we're chasing it down with. Chuffing Jamesons. Yes, so what we're actually doing is a slight alternative, a slight variancy on what is a classic, because a classic chaser, and you Google this and read about it, it's all over the chuffing place. Very, very famous is a Guinness Jameson's Chaser. It's an Irish chuffing chaser spectacular, you know what I mean? So we're doing a variation on that. Right, Jameson's is a blended Irish whiskey. It's distilled in County Cork. It's the best-selling Irish whiskey in the world by a country mile. It's available to buy in 130 countries, including Ireland. So you can actually buy it in Ireland as well. Surprise me. It says, production, the brand used locally sourced Irish barley and water from the Dungerney River. On the palate, it's light, floral, fragrant, sweet, woody and nutty. Yeah, so let's have a bloody go. We'll get it chuffing poured out here. Get it bloody poured out. There we go. Just a little chuffing dabble. A little dabble, there we go. That's it. Right. This is part I like. Right, so we're going to stick to what I have been doing when I drink the beer first and then the chuffing whiskey. But you know, we'll have a go at this one. Cut chuffing head on that. A thing of beauty. Look at that, delicious. Right, here we go. Cheers, everybody. Ah, oh, chuffing delicious. A little bit sweet, I don't think quite as sweet as the Mulligans we did, but a lot different from the Guinness. Very malty. That kind of barliness, you can taste it cutting through. Got a very nice, and yeah, it has. It's got that it at the back end. It's got that kind of coffee, that cacao, that caffeine kind of kick to it. It's a nice drop, is that? That's a very tasty little drop. Right, we're going to go into like kind of whiskey territory now, and then we'll do his chaser. So, cheers everybody. Left nostril, right nostril, lips, chin. Left nipple, right nipple, chuffing belly in. Bailing ices, down the old chuffing Maggie Thatcher. And here we go, let's chuffing get involved. Right, let's have a chuffing little snort on there. Fresh, creamy, very, very approachable kind of essence to this. It's not overwhelming. It's not an intense kind of fragrance, but you have to go searching for it a little bit. But you know, it's worth searching for this chuffing shite. Very nice, yeah. What I get from it, man, a little bit of spicy background. Not too much. A little bit fudgy. A little bit nutty. I think it's going to be a nice little chuffing drop, is this, right? We'll get involved, we'll get it wrapped around the old chuffing pink wriggle and see how we get on with it. I can see why it's popular. I can see why it's popular. You don't need to put any kind of ice or water, anything of that kind of ilk with this. It's just perfectly good, neat. I mean, you could water it down, you could ice it down, you could use it as a mixer. It'd be a great mixer, actually. I'm not just talking about chasers. Actually, you know, put it in a proper kind of whiskey cocktail. You can see why it's sold so vastly. You know, is it the best whiskey ever constructed? No, it's not the best whiskey ever constructed. But it's up there in terms of an everyday sipper. A kind of good, solid, rock solid dram. Probably from bottle to bottle to bottle to bottle. Probably very, very consistent chuffing flavour profile. So I can see why all pubs use it. Or this 130 countries why they're chuffing by it. Excellent. Very creamy again. It's got a very creamy, oily kind of. Zero burn. You could probably drink that like I drunk that chuffing stout. I mean, I won't have that because you get pissed off with chuffing head, you end up getting arrested by the police, but you could do that. Right, we'll go for his chaser spectacular now. Here we go, guys. Right, so we'll do it this way first. We'll start off with my chuffing stout. Here we go. Yeah. He's excellent, that. Thanks, Jason. Excellent. Chuffy works for me, it's pop. That thing, that holds itself up very well against Guinness and Mulligans and all those kind of things. I think probably from the ones that I've had, I'm favourite Mulligans at the minute. But you know, it's like phases. It's like with music, you know, sometimes where you kind of get into a phase where you might just be listening to chuffing Stones. Then you get into a spell where you might just be listening to chuffing Beatles. Or you might be B.B. King or Freddie King or chuffing Eric Clapton or George Formby, Foster and Allen, Daniel O'Donnell. You know, you go through all these chuffing phases, you know what I mean? But at the moment, I'm into my Mulligans, but that is excellent. That holds its own. It's very, very respectably holding its own against all this chuffing vast array of chuffing stout competition. You know what I mean? Now we're going to go for the chuffing homemade DIY chuffing Boilermaker. Here we go, let's get it shoved in. Yeah, it's nice. For me, I would drink a bit of beer, swallow it, drink a bit of whiskey, swallow it. If I was going to do it as a Boilermaker, I would probably drop a shot straight into the chuffing glass and let it all amalgamate around, rather than doing what I've just done with like a little DIY one. But chuffing excellent, really, really good stuff. Now, it's absolutely beautiful day out there, so I'm going to get myself out in chuffing garden with pot plants. Do a little bit of work in garden before, you know, this time chuffing over. I hope you have a chuffing great day and a great life. I'll chuffing catch you later, sweethearts. Okay, sunshine? Adios amigos.